Anyway, Steph's here to lead you through this, but I'm always here. So, well, Steph, we're about 7 minutes in, but I'll let you take it from here and do as you please.
Well, I was excited that I was almost on time today. And then I went to Instagram and I couldn't find the link. And I was like, oh gosh, I've been out of the routine and the first time I'd be on time. I just wanted to celebrate that we're, 7 weeks into COVID. The month of May is tomorrow. And I was going to be on time. I even got here early.
May tomorrow?
Is it May tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Let's go.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, summer. So we'll just warm up until 7:15 on my clock. 15-minute warm up, wherever you are. Chris, it looks like you've been on the bike for a little bit.
No, I just always look like this.
I like it. I like it. Also, I like that Dan has some lights on now. I really like seeing all of this.
The black light 90s rave effect wasn't working?
No, it super works for me. It just made me want to either go to SoulCycle or go to sleep. Both of those are great things. I had rented out our cabin, and the people that came, factory reset our internet. And so for basically every class, I've been freaking out the night before trying to get Wi-Fi into the garage, and TELUS was backed up forever and they wouldn't come within 6 feet of you. And I was like, if you think you can stand at the end of the driveway and I'm going to fix my internet, you're so wrong. I am not TELUS. And now it works. So the garage, brought to you by the garage.
I love your setup. It makes me want to go and do a workout there.
Does it?
It does, actually, because it sort of looks kind of a cross between pretty rustic, but also you have decent equipment. So that excites me.
Right. This neighborhood is a really interesting one. I'm just really talking. Oh, look at this fun.
Oh, look at the puppy.
Puppy.
Sorry, we got puppy distracted. Oh my gosh.
Zoom for the win. How old is this puppy? 2 months? Oh, what kind? Mute. This is a problem. I think COVID puppies. Oh, hi.
That's so cute. Wow.
I love it. I have a friend in the middle of my screen who I don't know.
That Michael?
Michael? Is that you? Hi. Okay, good. Now I know. Now I know all of our friends.
Yeah, we got, you know everybody else, okay? Summer, Joanne, Chris, Jojo, Michael, and neighbor Dan.
No, I think it's called Bike Jump Dan.
Bike Jump Dan.
I imagine Dan talking through the fence like Wilson from, what was that show?
Oh yeah,
back in.
That's right. Tim the tool man or something.
Yeah. He's got his tools behind him there. I can see on the shelf.
Dan and I live, Dan is literally my neighbor whose grass is always greener. I mean that absolutely.
Just literally.
He was in landscaping for a bit, but he's also just, a little more disciplined than we are over on our side. And sometimes you can just see, in the backyard, the kids and I will stand out there and I'll be like, kids, when you grow up, be more like Dan.
That's amazing. You know what's amazing is that we can have this conversation because most of the time, those neighbors, A, don't talk to each other, and B, you wouldn't say such nice things about your neighbor Dan.
Dan's the best, and his wife Sharon and his kids. We're very lucky. It would be very hard, I think, living in this situation if you hated your neighbors, because we share a wall.
I have a really good neighbor story. My neighbor who's up here, their names are Doug and Jean. Before I tell you this story, I'm just going to tell you the main set so that when the clock strikes go, we're ready to go. And I want you to know the workout, and I'm just going to tell you stories because I think humans with stories are so fun, and it will help this hour be fun. And for all the things of focus and whatnot, you know, we can learn that 23 other hours of these days in COVID. That's my new philosophy. Is that okay, Jazzy? It's like an hour of fun distraction. I want to tell you about my gigabyte neighbor and my latest meditation book inspired by Jazzy. However, I brought a workout, and it's spicy. And we're gonna do some over-unders. And I like to start over. So we'll go 3 minutes, seated climbing gear. I feel like I just don't know where people are at, but a seated climbing gear over, I'm gonna talk Ironman. We're all an Ironman, even in our dreams, right? Maybe. Over Ironman power, and your unders are gonna come in at Ironman effort. 3 minutes over Ironman effort, 3 minutes under, slightly under at Ironman effort. So we'll do that 3 times. 3 times. We'll take a little break, then we're gonna go 2 minutes over under, take a little break, and we're gonna finish off with 8 minutes of some spicy stuff. Yeah? My clock says we're gonna roll in 30 seconds. 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 20 watts over Ironman effort. Jazzy, how can I say this in a different way?
Well, you could say it on perceived effort. So Michael's a cyclist, so this would be like the over part would be like, say, threshold, say 85%. And then the under, the easier part would be like 75%.
Perfect. Let's go like 85 to 90. We're gonna go in 5 seconds on my clock. Here we go. 3, 2, we're on. Excuse me. Okay, we're halfway. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Nice and steady. Jazzy, are you still doing push-ups these days?
Yeah, Mike and I moved to 150 a day. I lasted one day and then I missed 3 days, and we chatted and he gave me such a hard time that I played catch up on one day and did like 500 push-ups.
This is you and Mikey Neal?
Yeah.
Okay, team, I had a little timing issue, so I've got you on the clock, but you're gonna keep riding here.
I've got a clock going. You got 5 seconds till you switch here.
No, but Jazzy, we're gonna use my clock.
Okay.
So they're gonna have to go longer here.
Okay.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Three, two, come down.
Nice job.
70 to 75%. High cadence, high cadence. So, okay. Also, I have this rule in spin class. If I'm talking too much and you want me to stop, you can just put your hand up. I'll stop talking and we can ride bikes. Right, Chris? You might have missed that era of method. But there's this thing at method, or this thing in the world called ClassPass. And when you sign up for classes on ClassPass, you can provide feedback. And I am like so proud. I am such a solid 1-star or 5-star. You love me or you hate me. And the feedback is like, we love it, we love it, we love it. She wouldn't shut up. We love it. Her class was too hard. It's like so polarizing, and I feel so lucky that not like, I'm so not gray. You're gonna like me, you're gonna hate me, super clear. And then I had to start begging people to write positive comments, or I was like, I'm gonna get fired. I really need to step up here. Anyway, that aside, we started a system. Stop talking, no questions asked, we just stopped talking and kept writing. But I want to tell you about my neighbor, because I don't have neighbor Dan. I got a cabin just south of Whistler, and we took it over from people who had lived here since 1983. And so these neighbors were like seriously tightly ingrained. You have 1 minute to go here, 1 minute to go. And move in, and Doug and Jean are next door. And keep in mind, we're only here on weekends until COVID. And so they come over and they're like, oh, you know, we're only up here on weekends. Oh yeah, us too. Well, the people you bought from used to be here full time, and they would share their internet with us, so we didn't have to have internet. And I was like, oh, and I feel guilty like this new neighbor. So I'm like, oh, here's our internet password. You should have free internet from us too. And then my husband is like, why did you do that? Like, no, they're here on the weekends, we're here on the weekends. So he changes all the passwords and knocks her off. So the next weekend, oh, it's go time. 3, 2, here's number 2. Number 2, 3 minutes. Big power, lower RPM, please. So what happened is the next weekend, she comes over, and this time she has muffins. She comes over, oh, hi, I have some muffins. I was like, oh, this is really friendly neighbors. And she's like, yeah, I just noticed the internet wasn't working. And then you have that awkward conversation, oh, I'm sorry. You know, maybe you should get your own internet. It's 2018. And so now we've called her Gigabyte. She brings over bite-sized treats, looking for internet in all the wrong places. And we're not really friends. It's kind of awkward. So, you know, we don't have a Dan story.
That is that is an awesome story because I've been using Dan's internet for 10 years.
Stop it.
No, I haven't.
That would be awesome. You're halfway.
That really is a great story. That's quite awkward.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. 1 minute. 1 minute to go. So, Dan, I see you have TT bars. Are you a triathlete for roading?
Yeah, this is my new S5 bike, which is kind of fun.
Hot damn.
Hubs that attaches these bars. They also have your drops
Right.
with that setup.
Those look like great aero bars.
Yeah. Yeah, I did my first Ironman Canada last summer in Whistler.
Oh, amazing. Did Jackie coach you?
Kylie.
That's awesome. 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds. Michael's a roadie. Joanne, I feel like you're both. Try. 3, 2, come down.
Nice job. Nice job. I have a sort of a funny neighbor story. It's not similar, but kind of similar. From the day we moved into this place next to Dan, the Terras and gas people had our ID numbers wrong, so they were taking Dan's thing and billing us for it, and taking our thing and billing Dan's for it. Like they just had the wrong gas meter numbers for us. And so when we found it out, it was like this lottery because it meant one of us was overpaying and one was underpaying. And it was their mistake, so they had to correct it. And I remember just waiting. I was like, I really hope it's us that's been overpaying because we'll get money back. I think it wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think,
Yeah.
or I think they gave one of us a credit and didn't like charge the other or something.
That's right. That's what happened. Yeah. It was like getting free gas for a while. And then I have one more story that's not even related to that, but kind of similar. And it was I feel like it was with the gas company again. And I got my bill, and for some reason I'd overpaid on one of the bills. And it had the little CR beside the total amount that you owe, which means you don't owe. It's a credit. This is like going way back, and I just wasn't picking it up with my eyes. Like I just didn't, like kept thinking that's what I owed. So I kept paying it, and then the next bill would come, and it was a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher. And eventually we had a bill for like $480 when it was normally like 25 per month or whatever it is. Steph, cut me off whenever you gotta go.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Anyway, so I had a credit, so I kept paying the credit amount, which meant I just had more credit. And eventually got up and I was like, $500 bill, like I gotta call these people. This is insane. Like maybe you have a gas leak. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I called and they're like, sir, you've had a credit. You keep paying your credit balance. Like we owe you money. And
That's amazing. And I just wish that the CRA would call me and tell me that I have a credit.
Yeah.
Just grow. You have a credit, miss. How do I now? Team, the last one, 3 minutes. We're gonna go in 10 seconds. 3 minutes over. Here we go. We're on. One minute down, 2 minutes to go. Thanks, Chris. Great, we're cruising through halfway. 90 seconds.
Put on the coffee table.
In 1 minute. Last minute. Job, Summer. I like watching us grind it out on the trainer. You feel like you're climbing out of Pemberton. Last 30 seconds. Three, two, come down. Come down, 75%. Spin your legs. We're here for 3 minutes. Joanne, I need you to turn your sound on so I can talk to you. Because I think in this world of the internet, I am wondering if you are related to or know Rosemary Wedlake.
Yes, I train with Rosemary.
What's the connection?
We're just friends.
Oh wait, because you're in Ontario. You're
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah. She's my biking buddy.
That is so cool.
She's quite something, isn't she?
So I've actually never met her,
Okay.
but I swam at university with her son,
Okay, Jason or Chris?
Jason.
Okay.
And when I was at university, she was doing Ironman.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. And I remember thinking, like, here I am at university and this rad woman is training, like, way more than we are.
And she was still working back then. She's retired now, but
She's
yeah.
still going.
Now she wins her age group all the time because she's 67 this year. My goal to stay in Ironman for another 15 years so I can win my age group when I'm 67.
It's so cool.
She's very motivated. You know, you see someone like that and it's like, I want to be that when I'm there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up only as a swimmer. I was talking about this to someone this week about how growing up as a swimmer, I feel like I learned so many things that because I didn't know any other way, I just thought that was the way. And it almost has taken me, in some respects, like 20 years to fully appreciate the lessons of being a swimmer. And not to be morbid, but it's really wonderful that Jazzy comes on to these Zoom calls, because there was an awesome swim coach in Ontario who would never miss a workout. And during COVID, they were doing some dryland sessions on Zoom, and he missed one. And that afternoon, the police went to his apartment and found him dead.
Oh, no.
And I just think it's, you know, you look to people that are older and say, I want to grow up and be like you, or you just look to people that are so bloody consistent that when they don't show up, you have to call the police and you wonder what's going on. And so every time Jazzy's here on your Zoom workout, I have faith. All's well in the world. Jazzy's still here. We're good, team. We're good.
If I'm not here, I'm out building dirt ramps.
Yeah, but then your children might be jumping on you. I don't know. Yeah, I know they're little and all. Okay. I'd like us to take 2 minutes of active recovery where your power is very low and your RPMs are up and over 105, maybe 110, for 2 minutes before we start the next set, because I'm going to ask for a higher upper end for a shorter amount of time for the second set. Okay? So right here, you can drop your power a little bit. Do what you need to do to spin up 105, 110. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. On my program this morning was a 90-minute ride with 10-minute and 20-minute efforts. So I'm eating a banana because Joey and I had to get that 90-minute ride in. This is bonus, apparently. Right, Jazzy? I think one of the rules on Zoom calls is don't eat. I'm breaking that rule. Okay, so I've been coached by Jazzy for more years than I can remember now. And so I don't remember exactly what year this was. But very early on, it was probably our first year. We're gonna go in 1 minute, team. In 1 minute, we're gonna go 2 minutes over, 2 minutes under, 2 minutes over, closer to 90% this time, and 2 minutes under, closer to 70%. You can really take it off on the recovery as long as you're spinning at up and over 100. But when we're on, let's be closer to 90% effort. Yeah, 2 minutes. We'll go in 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Things good. Stop.
I'm still gonna tell you about Jazzy, my first season with Jazzy. 10 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, we're on. I don't know why I look really big. Is that your fault, Jazzy? Oh yeah, there's Joey. I like this, Jazzy. Keep it up. You're halfway. You're halfway.
I'm not sure what I did there, but I did change some setting. But now it's normal again.
I gotta bring him down.
Yeah, there's Dan. Yeah, Joey, that's the pain face. Up close. All right, team, 30 seconds. $15. 3, 2, recover. I want to be mindful, this isn't recovery, it's 70%. 70%, and your RPMs are up. All right, one down. We're gonna do 2 more like that. We lost Dan. Maybe he's gonna bring his little one in. It's time for family class. So, 1 minute to go. I was training for Ironman Texas with Jazzy, which is typically a spring race. And that meant training through the winter in Vancouver. And I was on a trainer inside, someone else that Jazzy was coaching at the time. And I had made it to 5 hours. It was the longest trainer ride I'd ever done. I was going like mental, like 5 hours on a trainer. I was totally tapped out. And the other athlete Jazzy was coaching was doing a bigger ride, was going for like 5.5 hours. And for her, she was riding, well over Ironman distance. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 2 minutes on, here we go. 3, 2, let's go. Nice, Chris. Right there, you're halfway, team. Halfway.